Hey guys, welcome to the new video of crawling solution. Today I'm going to show you how you can skate Skymem, which is a website that you can actually put your domain inside this website, and when you search it, oh sorry, we did not search any of the email from this domain. Well, that's okay. I'm going to paste other one. Let's just go for this one. Now there you go. Now this website, when you put your domain, it will actually search every single, not every single, it will give you a sample of the email address that they collected from the domain in any means. I have no idea. So you can actually buy these email address and get full 52 of it, or you can just use just 10 of those for any of your purposes. That's okay. Well, what I'm going to show you today is that this website is belong to the open source intelligent technique framework. Is right over here. So with this framework, it will show you almost every single website that you can use for your open source intelligence, like instant messaging, people search engine, dating, telephone numbers, public record, all kind of very intelligent stuff. It's for detective website. So for this video today, I'm going to use how you can use Skymem, and we're going to loop over a bunch of this domain, and then you paste this on this input, and then you get the email address. Now this thing can be done automatically with Scrapy. Now Scrapy is basically a framework for Python that explicitly used for scraping website. Why Scrapy? Because Scrapy is extremely fast, it is very complicated, but it's also very easy to learn, also maintain, and you can use it for large scale project and small scale project in any way possible. So the first thing we gotta do is that we're going to make a Scrapy project. Now I'm actually use Anaconda interpreter. Why? Because this interpreter is much more suitable for Windows operating system. So if you are using Ubuntu, you can actually go to the terminal and install Scrapy by pip, and it will not gonna get you a lot of trouble. But if you use the base interpreter, which is Python 3 of the Windows 10 system, then it's gonna cause you some trouble, and it's gonna take so much time to fix it. So basically you just use the Anaconda 3 interpreter, and it won't give you any trouble if you install Scrapy on it. So it's gonna be great. Now we gotta go ahead and type pip install Scrapy. This look like I already installed it, so if you gotta do it, it's gonna take some time. And well, let's go ahead. Now in this project, my path is pointed to Python project. Now you need to copy this path, absolute path, and then you cd paste it on it. It will point you on your project. Now let's create a Scrapy project. First thing first, you have to type create start project, Scrapy, Skymem. Right, it already created on a Skymem. Now you see this folder, it will have very dynamic file and some configuration file, setting file, pipeline file, middleware file, and item file. Now you don't worry about it. You don't have to need to worry about it at first, because I'm going to show you step to step how every file works in the next video. So let's get to the point. Now I'm going to create a file called Skymem. Right. Okay. Now it's very blank. For any of you who know Python or any of you who know Scrapy, you don't have to watch this part. You can just skip and right next to the other part. All right. But for you guys newbie, well, this is how I'm going to show you how you can scrape your basic spider from Scrapy. We first gotta import Scrapy. Next, we're gonna create a class, and let's just call this class for like Skymem. Now, inside this class, you have to inherit it from Scrapy spider. And now for PyCharm, it will read the inheritance of Scrapy.spider, and then it will show you some variable that you can point into the project. Now I'm going to create a variable called Skyname. Now this name is very important because it is the name of the project itself. It's not the name of the project, it's not the name of the project over here, but the name of the spider. Okay? Now on the next one, we're going to create a stat request. And let's just get it here. Now you see this website, alright, is basically very simple. It's not complicated, not dynamic, and it looks very simple. It looks like a very simple website. Now, if you see this, if I'm going to paste this domain, and I'm going to click that. Now, what do I have here? All right, is a parameter of the URL, and in this parameter, you see this q equal Indonesia's.net. Now, you get the picture, all right? If you use this domain and you paste this on here, it will just get you right on that website. It will find the email from that website just by pasting the domain, just by pasting this parameter. All right. Now I'm going to enter. Now you see, now did not find anything. That's okay, because we have hundreds of domain right left. Now, well, what do we have here? Just some broken domain. I just got stuck. Okay, so the next thing what you're gonna do is that either you can paste the entire list of the domain right here, or more simple way and more way of programming is that you will open this file and you will get this URL, I mean this domain, from the file. So basically I kept this file on the desktop. So right now I'm going to paste the file right here. Refactor. Now we have the file domain. Alright. Now this file is .txt, but if you look at it, you can see it looks pretty much like a Python file. Because it has this quote or this yeah, it had this quote or this I don't know how to code it, but naturally it looked like a Python file. Let me get a variable over here. Let me get this domain equal, and I'm gonna go to change this file into Python. Wow, look at that. It is actually a Python file. Now you have this domain equal to a list, and the list contains all domain that we want. So what you have to do is you just need to import domain, and you get the list. All right. Maybe from domain, you import domain. You import this variable from this program of domains. All right. Now basically we have the domain. We don't have to open the file. We just use the variable like the way we like. All right. Now I'm gonna get a loop over this domain. Actually, I don't need to have to get a loop. I just need to yield the request right away. Scrapy.request. Now, for this domain, it doesn't have any. For this domain, you actually have to combine with the website URL for each of the domain to have a complete parameters of the URL. The URL is going to be like this. All right, this is just a part of the URL that we're going to scrape. So I'm going to create a new list, an empty list, and then for each D in domain, the URL is going to plus. The URL is basically going to plus the domain. Also, you notice there's a one thing called none. Now basically if you loop through this and you combine the none with a string, it will cause an error, so you need to remove it away. Then you're going to plus the rest of the domain, the rest of the URL, like this. All right. Now, what happens if I print this one? Well, obviously we can't, because if I run this program, it will obviously do nothing. Okay, because we don't have any executable code implemented inside this program. So basically we can't do anything with it. We need some executable code, and I'm gonna show you that later. All right. Now, basically right now I'm going to just append the URL that I already combined with parameter from Skymem plus with domain and other parameter. So let me just copy it and get it outside for you can see what is happening. Now I'm going to print this URL. I'm going to run it. There you go. You have a really good, really big bunch of URL that you can actually get the email straight from it right away. Let's just paste it onto this. There you go. Sweet email address from .ma, probably Malaysia, I believe. Oh, that's really huge. Now What we gotta do next is we gotta go a request on this URL so that when it's sent to their server, it will give us the email address in this form. Alright, so let's do it. Right, I'm going to comment this one. Let's just make a Scrapy request for all of them. So how you do that? Well, basically you don't have to append on this URL. It's probably really pointless, but it's a way of showing you that you can actually create a list contain all of that URL. But let's get to the point. URL will be equal to URL, and you need a callback. Callback will be self.page. Basically, self.page meaning that you have to create a function that when you call that URL, you send the request to the URL, and when it sends you back the response, that function is going to take the response and you can do whatever you want with it. Okay, so that page we obviously doesn't need any open quote or something. Now the next thing you want to do is that when you send a request, you have to understand what is a request. Basically, when you send a request, you're gonna need some basic information like headers, cookies, and all kind of that stuff. Now, how you do that? If you check it out, what your header that you're using, you can go right here to the network. You refresh the page. You see that all kind of when you send a request, they send you back a whole bunch of response. It's very detailed. Now, this is what response that we are wanting. The response that have the email address. So this is the request. Basically, it doesn't have anything. So this is a basic request header that we just sent to the Skymem website. So what we're going to do is that we will create this request header, and then you paste it into our program so that it will accept it as just like our browser. So that it will accept it just like our browser. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we're going to copy it, and I'm going to create a variable called header. Now basically, if you create a variable inside a function, in the next function, you will not going to use it unless you pass it to the next, unless you pass it in some way. So I'm going to create this static variable on top of the class. This is gonna be header, so that you can use that static variable in whatever function that you're going to use next. So if you paste it in here in the next function, you're not going to use it. You're not going to have a chance to use it unless you paste it in like a meta or some way. So what we're going to do is that we're going to scrape our string that we just copy from the browser. This looks very much. Jeez, what? Alright, so obviously the header is look kind of mess, but there's also a way that you can use the header, that you can actually get the network from this header. So I got great. So I found it here. CURL. So let's just copy this CURL from the Windows, and then you paste this right here. Now you can see this is the header that we want. Alright, it's look very much, we have parent, we have header. All we need is this header. Cookie probably can need it, but this is a GET request, not POST request, so we just need header. So I'm gonna take header and paste this right here. Now this variable is gonna be static, so if you paste the variable over here in the next function, you won't be able to use it unless you use other method that pass this header to the next, but it's very complicated and it's not very programmatic. So we just go ahead and create another function called paste. This function will take an argument called respond. Now this is obviously what we want. We send a request, they send back response, and this function will take that response and do whatever we want with it. So basically we take this response. Now this response can be used, this response basically has everything on it. It has HTML, it has domain and URL and header. Basically everything that they sent you back, you get it. Okay, alright, so what you want to do is that you take, now I gotta code this variable called red equal response. Now I'll just redeclare this variable, but that might not be necessary. So you can go ahead and just use body HTML will be response.text. Now this response.text is basically what you have is basically this response. Alright, if total raw is the HTML response. So what you want is that you take this HTML response, when it sends you back the response, you can use this response, and then you can get this email address. Let me just go, let me just find it. Okay, right, now this is what we need. Alright, inside is HTML, and inside this element from HTML, we just need to direct our spider to this path, and we can get the email address. For multiple email address, you can just do it fine. So let's just do it. Alright, so I'm going to create an XPath. I'm using XPath, by the way. You can actually use CSS path or selector path or whatever, but I prefer using XPath because it's very easy to use and you can get it right away. Alright, now this is just one email address. How about multiple email address? Well, it's not very complicated. Now if you see this, if I'm just type google.com, it will get us, oh, that's a lot of email address. We'll get lots and lots of email address. So basically, if we're going to expect here, it has multiple TR element. So let me get the XPath on the search HTML /TR. We have 12 results. Okay, this looks pretty good. And let's just go another dip. Alright, TR dot td. Now this is what we want. tr.td. Wow, there was even more result than the previous one we typed in. So this method is not really working well. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm going to search for this specific string. What I'm going to search is that I'm going to search every A element that contain this specific string up the link. A contain and then I'm going to paste in what do I call it? Value, yes. href value that contain the string. No match. Probably I have some. Oh yeah. href the string. Put the oh, obviously you don't need this double quote. You need to quote on this. Sorry guys, it's always have to be this one. Alright, so now we have it. Now we have all A element that contain this email address that we wanted. So what we have to do is that we can use this XPath. Go to this XPath. No, might not need it. And just go to email right away. Will be equal to X. Now we're going to get. We're going to use our body HTML.XPath using the email address. XPath. I mean using our XPath that we just previously made. There you go. Another thing you want to do is that when you get it, it's actually contained inside the element. It is basically just like a text of the element. It's not the value of the element. So basically we just need to flat text. Next thing you want to do is that you're going to get O. And by the way, if you do this, you will get all the element from our XPath. But if you only use get, we'll just get as one element. That's not what we needed. We need to get all the email address. So now we all have. So basically now we already have all of our email address. We're going to loop through it for E in email. Just print it out. Now to run it, basically right now it still doesn't run. So how do you run it? So basically you can go to the terminal and then you use the Scrapy script. You can use the Scrapy script like this. Scrapy crawl Skymem and get the name from your spider. Paste it on Term Scrapy is not recognized by Scrapy. Well, obviously, this terminal of PyCharm doesn't really work well. Well, probably have some error over here, but that's okay. Let's just use Scrapy on our terminal, on our Windows. There you go. You see that? Scrapy 2.6.2. That's what we need. Because this one doesn't recognize, the terminal of PyCharm doesn't recognize it. So we're gonna use the elegant PyCharm. Now I already pointed into a project, but you don't have to point right into the folder of Spider. If you point to that, it's not going to work. So what you can do is just you're gonna point right outside this project, right there. I'm gonna copy the path again. I'm going to paste it right here. Go Scrapy, crawl, Skymem. Let the magic happen. And the commands crawl. No active project, so it doesn't recognize any of our project. Oh yeah, so actually we create a project inside our PyCharm project. We create a Scrapy project inside our PyCharm project. We need to point it further deeper. Then we're gonna get it. cd pipe in. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to use Scrapy, crawl, Skymem, sorry. No module name domain. So basically, it will not recognize the module of domain inside this Spider folder. So what we gotta do is that we gotta get it further outside this folder, and then look at that, PyCharm will automatically identify where our program, our domain file is, and then it will change the path of the Python library. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, we're gonna do it again. Here you go. Oh, no module, Skymem. Jeez, man. Spider name, spider not found. Sky name, shit. Let's use sky name. Sky man, that name. Now, paste it back in, come on. Look at that, it's run. Whoa, whoa, holy Christ. That's a lot of page. What is this? String? No attribute response. Oh, sorry guys. So basically, this one, I use this as text. It's not a response anymore. If it is a response, we can use the path on it. But this is just a body HTML because I basically take the value text and combine it with the variable body HTML. So basically, this one is just text. It's just basically a plain string. Is not a response? Is not a response class from Scrapy. So basically, cannot do the XPath function. So basically, string value has no origin. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. So what we're gonna do is that we just need to delete the body HTML and just use the response XPath and get all of it. Let's do it again. Hope this works. Wow, look at that, guys. Well, that's exactly what we want. Not so much email just screaming out of the terminal. There's so much of it. Wow, just look at that. That's so huge benefit. So juicy. Great. Oh, By the way, this 403 is obviously for like for some reason it doesn't fan any of the email address. That's what I believe. When you paste this on here, let's just see. So basically it's still fan email address, but the code is 403. Not 403. It's not 403. Alright. For the other one, is just doing just fine. Let me get this one. Alright. 403. Basically, it has some method of blocking us from the website. So basically, we doesn't get all of it, but that's all right. Let's just do it again. No, I just delete the terminal. Okay, copy the path, paste it right here. B crawl Skymem. Now, if you really want to know what is the problem with the 403, well, there's a way to do it. You pass a variable called handle HTTP status. You assign it 403. You basically handle the 403 HTTP status, and when you handle it, that means we will be able to get the response without skipping the response. Skymem, lose again. Okay. Four, three. Type news. Well, we have 237 plus 143, 403, 144. Well, obviously this variable doesn't have. Let me search it for it. It says Scrapy handle HTTP status. So basically, status list handle HTTP status list. Sorry, guys. We were just going to use only 403. Now let's just scrape it again. See that? Now I crawled 403. Now, in case of the 403, it might be very hard to detect what is going on with the website. Either it blocked you from scraping. From my point of view, it doesn't block you because the rest of the domain is just fine. So what you gotta do is that you're going to have to print the body of HTML that define what it means of that response to get 403. Your print response.text. Now I have need a condition for it. I just forget printing the email address. If response status equal to 403, print response.text. do it again. Oh, wow, look at that. Forbidden access denied. You do not have a mission view. Is that really using the credential that define? Well, that's very nice. That's true that we don't have any permission, because from my point of view, we do have the permission. See, yeah, from my point of view, we actually do have the permission. Wow, just like that. Yeah, we obviously did have the permission. Oh, in case with the paging, it's actually a little bit complicated, but I'll cover that in the next video. Now check it out. Well, let's just see what permission that we have here. We gotta take the CURL, paste it on right there. Wow, just look at that. Other than having just 2 cookie variable, we basically, for this one we have 4. That's pretty weird. By the way, let's just use this cookie to see what better result we can get. Now, oh, it looks like we haven't passed the header. Well, my bad, guys. We basically doesn't have the headers for the website. So basically, it doesn't have any headers. It doesn't have user agent. Chances getting 403 is very high, because they're going to detect that you are a bot. You are not a browser. You are not Mozilla browser, and it's gonna block you instantly. So let's just go ahead and do that. Header equal to cell.header, cookie equal to cell.cookie. Okay, let's see if we have the 403 again. Hopefully we don't. Oh, we still have that. Access denied, forbidden. Forbidden. Paste it back again. Yep, have it. So basically, guys, that's it for the video, because in the next video I'm gonna cover that in case of the 403, you can actually retry that request, and then if you retry it, chances are they won't block you. Probably they blocked you because you were doing too quick, or probably they blocked you because you were doing too quick, and then they found out that that if you're doing too quick, they will not gonna give you a quick result, and you have to wait for that result to retry the request, and maybe you can get the request. You can get response you want. So basically, right now we only cover how to get the email address from this domain. I mean, in case that blocking, well, I will cover it in the next video. So there you go, guys. Enjoy.